Hmm. Hmm. Right, which way to go? I'm heading this way. Oh, it's pretty close. Let's just do one last check it. Hopefully it's behind me. Yeah, we're pretty much on top of it. And of course, I've come so unprepared, I have not brought a shovel. That is what we are looking for. Oh, I could not have planned that better. Easy. Sir. There it is. We'll need that soon. And then say hello and welcome along to another video. As you can see, we have just killed the dragon. Long overdue, but we needed something for episode 10. So the dragon is now killed. In my own time, I am going to do some end raiding so that I can get some shulker shells, some elytra. But before I get the elytra, I will need gunpowder. So on my list is a gunpowder farm. Not going to be done today, because today we are going to get this pier sorted. I think once this pier sorted, this side of the beach area is all sorted. You know, we've got our woodcutters area. We've got a little sewer entrance, which I'm going to work on. I'm thinking if I get some time, you know, do some streaming projects that'll just be on stream. So, you know, like if I do fancy doing that, I will do notifications on a community tab, just to show that I would go live. But I'm thinking things like an underground railroad that connect to things like the stronghold and things like that. Little things that I do need. A little railway system would be a nice little project for that. I do like how this island is coming together. Like I said, I am not a builder, and these I like these. So my project for today is getting this pier sorted. Now, I have took inspiration on some of this bit, because, you know, it is, again, something new for me to build. So what I actually did was took real-world inspiration. So where I live near, all in all, 4 piers. There's actually a pier a 5-minute walk away from my work, if that. Like, I can actually see the pier from my work. So using some of that, I went underneath the pier. to have a look and see how it was designed and things like that. So as much as I think before I'd done that, I probably would have just put a bar across and like filled it all in and said, yeah, it's all supported. But it's actually not. They have like lines of supports and then like bars going across them. So I might actually need an extra couple in here, which is a good thing that I didn't really build anything under here. So I think sometimes when you can, if you can use some real world examples to help with your building, it will make your building look better overall. But what I think is the way that I've kind of got these, I've got a couple of little pathways on the either side of this main building. This main building is going to come out here. We've got a couple of entrances in, so a couple of double doors, a bit of a tall thing. And then in here is where we are just going to have a simple cactus farm. So again, this one, you know, just a passive farm. Not many pieces of cactus in it because I don't really need much. I'd only need it for green dye. And then when that's overfilled, a composter. But we'll work on that once we've got this shell of the building in. But I've got two little entryways as well. And what we'd have in the back is another couple of exits. So we can just have a couple of bits of probably storage or something in here. The main bit of the cactus farm up here. But the way that I've got this inspired, so if you've ever been to the Central Pier in Blackpool, and I think the North Pier, I think all the piers actually in Blackpool have this. I'm only going off the Central Pier because this was one that I actually went to not too long ago. They have the main building, like the main shore building. So what it has is you have your main entrance in, so you can actually see where I'm taking the inspiration on this now. Where you have like the couple of entrances in, and then there's the couple of side bits. So the side bits, there's one up this way, and then there's one here, and then there's little walkways onto the main pier. So, you know, you get a good idea. That's where I'm taking the inspiration on this one from. We're not going to have anything like this on the front of it. So, you know, we'll have a main entrance building, a couple of walkways down the side. Now, the one difference that I'd have once I've slept, the main difference that I'd have with this pier and the one on Central Pier is, I mean, there's not going to be that much. There's a couple of different ways that you can do them. This one, we're going to have some stalls in the style of like the shacks that I've built there, those couple of little shacks. I think there's a nice space enough. I mean, they're 5 wide. But I think the first thing that I need to do is get the main foundation of the pier in and then these sides up. So then that way we can get a good idea of where we're working with on this. I've got the main outer shell of the pier all sorted. And what it looks like is this. So not too tall. It's a nice little blocky area. Not sure about this yet for it, but we've got a nice little into the entrance area for where the cactus farm is going to be. A couple of things that we need to design to get down to the sides, but nice little gap into the sides. And then some layouts for some stalls, some storage, some, you know, like food and drink facilities, that kind of thing. Space on the sides. There's plenty of space to make some seats down the side here. A railing. I think this little bit of purple in this gives it a nice bit of colour. And then at the bottom where there's the kind of like theatre type thing, a couple of the piers that I've been to and visited, they have like a kind of build at the bottom to do things, put shows on, nights and things like that. Don't know what I'll do with this. We might end up putting a lot of cactus along here or something as well, just to utilise more of the space and get some farms in. But I think it's a good start for it. I got some building down, and we have got this now. So we have a little pattern. I did tweak a couple of bits when I was doing it, just give it some more like structure, more curvature. Then underneath we have a couple of designs again. Just looks like 2 bars going into one, so it's a little more structured. And bars going down, and more importantly, lighting. Now, it does repeat. this is a repeating pattern, so each one of the sides has pretty much this. There's one where I did the measurements wrong and I just couldn't be bothered to refix it. I think it was this one and then this one. So as you can see, they're not as even as the other ones. Same as on this side. I've gone one too far when I was going down, but as you can see, it does go, especially on these ones, it goes down quite a bit. Even compared to like these ones, these goes down quite far. I just couldn't be bothered doing it. I just couldn't be bothered changing it all. Even though it would just been remove a pillar and then add a pillar, I just couldn't be bothered to do that. But then we've got the archways, making it all look more secure. I think the one thing that I wanted to do with this was a dark colour so that it doesn't really take your eyes away from the actual pier. As you can see, we've got some work already started on the middle bits. But the main thing I wanted, because when you go past piers, you don't want to look at the bottom part, but you want to know it's structurally sound. So it does kind of meld into one a little bit here, but I think that's okay. The way that it is, you can walk under it. It's all lit up. That's all fine. It's just more that it's the surrounding things for the main event, which is up here. Now I've done a couple of bits up here. The first thing is I took rid of the ones across and down the side. I think I'm just going to have them up to there and then down. I'm not fully designed all this out yet. But the first things I wanted to do was, once these ones were in, start working on the walkway down towards the end part. And normally, now it's been a while since I actually went on the piers, you have little stalls. It's normally little games and things like that that you have on these. Now, I think definitely this one and this one, I try to do different designs on every one, so they are kind of similar, all in all. But like that's the only one that's really doesn't have a roof on it. Like that's more open, so that might be a seasonal thing. Get your ice creams or something. When you're not down there. But these two are the main ones that I think for like a kind of game, like kind of stall thing that they have on there, and maybe one of these ones what I've thought of so far. Now this one is just going to be a nice, easy little, like toss the ball into the hole, win a prize kind of thing. And I need to figure out a way of like showing prizes off. But I think this, like you come over, you stand, you pay your money, you have a go in, but it's accessible from both sides. And I think that one would work. And then I think potentially on one of these small ones, something similar. But if we did two and then a little pot on top, you had to aim up and aim in. Again, a little skill game, something like that for it. But then this is the one where I'm trying to do a little bit of something extra. Now, as you can see, we've already got a barrel here, and the way that it looks, it's girded off at the sides and the back. So this might have had one purpose one time ago, but it's been remade. That's why it's a different colour and things like that, and different sides and different railings. As you can see, we've got snowballs and a couple of things here. So we'll take a couple of snowballs out and we'll just pop these things out. Let's move a couple of them out. So my main idea was, this is if it works, do that, then a light, like a lamp, a target block, and then we'll just put this behind it as well. Now it's not going to be perfect because you probably need a bow and arrow for it to be a dead center. But the idea is, you throw the snowball at the target. The bell rings because it's been activated by that, and the lights up as well. So it's just basically kind of another skill throw game. Don't know if you're used to them. They'll kind of like they'll put like a target at the end. Even when you have like the baseball hoop, like basketball hoops up at the top, and you'd have to like throw in and get in for a prize. I think just a little bit of things like this brings it all to life. I need to figure out something for this one and this one, and then for this one down at the bottom. Well, there's a couple of extra things we need to figure out, but I think that's little things now. That's little things that, just does details. We've still got empty bits here. We've got this behind me and this in front of me. So I think the main thing of what we need to do is figure out what this is actually going to look like. Now, Now, I think one of the things that we need to take into consideration when doing this is designs, you know, obviously, and what we have available while we're doing stuff. Now, I've took inspiration from the central pier there. Like, both of these are Blackpool piers. I'm not doing the North Pier at Blackpool. That's a little bit more, I don't know if it's the right term, but that's more decor in how it looks. Whereas these two are a little bit, I mean, they've not really changed since the 70s, but they're more modern compared to that one in design. Now, I did take inspiration from the central pier when I was doing it, you know, like with the side bits, with the, you know, like the little cover that you can see there. But then it's more of a box like the South Pier one is. So I need to figure out a way to blend this together. Now, it may just be I make this box that we have just bigger. It may just be a simple case of that, where we make that bigger. You know, we go up and across and down, and then we just have the little walkway there, so this extends a little bit on the top. That could work, actually, and I think that might be the best way to go about it. But then, you know, like looking at both of those, they are very grey buildings. They are very grey. They've got little pops of colour on them, so it's just figuring out a colour palette. Now, I think, especially because of the dark that we have here going in, it is one thing to look out for on the colours. Like, it's the main attraction to bring you in as well. So I think we do need to go, rather than greys, I think we do need to look at maybe a white there for the entrance in. Yeah, definitely something, you know, like the smooth quartz might be a good shout to have all around the facade of the building, and then maybe look at a design in, and you know, like maybe shading or things like that, just to make it look a little bit nicer. But I'm going to get some blocks together and we're going to start doing the outside. I've been a little bit busy, and we have this. So you can see how I took a lot of inspiration from the central pier, with the little drop downs, the white building, even the red at the thing. Try doing a little bit of a design with the signs, you know, some just like closed brackets all around them, some yellow and some glow ink. Don't worry about the puddle, we'll come to that in a little bit. And then when you're going down, some little extras here just to make it look a little bit, you know, like more filled. So we've got a little top thing with lighting. It's now lit up everywhere in here. We've got a bottom building. Bottom building is empty as well, so it is just a shell of a building, but it's just a nice little space. And again, just this, we still need to do filling out details, but the next step is doing the cactus farm. And that is why we have the water here. So if we was to go inside this building, so like I mentioned at the beginning, the cactus farm's going to go in here. So it's a wider building, but as you can see, it goes in. And we have this. And we have this on the inside. So let's just do it with one of these. No matter where anything was to drop, it makes its way and drops down into that one. It can sometimes drop down into that one if they've come from this side. Like that. But then that is, you know, that's where I've got two here. So it doesn't all... If I didn't have this one, they do land on the edge. So I do need the two open. Now, what we need for this is we need some slabs first. And the slabs live on this row here. Every other one apart. So you can tell now, This isn't going to be the biggest space for it all, but let's just put this across this one. Let's just get the one module in. Let's just pop a temporary block for now. And then we're going to want, let's get the sand in. We're going to want to put sand, then a cactus, and then on the ceiling, we want to put a fence. So when this one grows, the cactus, when it grows, it'll be popped by that. It'll go into here, into the collection system at the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 14, 20, 28 cactus. Like I said, this isn't going to be one of those mass-produced farms. It's just going to be just enough for me. I don't need that much cactus. You know, it's only really for green dye that I need it for. So I don't need one of these over-the-top ones. But let's get these all filled in now. So that is all pieces in now. So we go up. We have all the pieces in that we need. So let's just get it all finished off with some hoppers, some chests, and a composter. The composter can wait. What we'll do is we'll wait till this starts to fill up with some. But that's just a simple premise. They go into the hoppers feed in. I actually need hoppers here and here as well, so that they go in down to the bottom first and then fill up from there. So I think if I was probably better putting the hoppers like coming off here or something, but because this is only like a one wide space that I have for the storage, it is better having that there. I might tweak it in the future and put all this for the storage. But what we need to focus on now is just little details. We've got the cactus farm sorted. We need little details, and then next episode we might think of something to put into that one. But we'll finish the main pier and these things, so we need some ideas. So we are on just a new, basically, creative world, just so I can start planning out some things. You know, with all these blocks available, we need to start looking at things we could do. I think one thing that I want to do, because this is going to be an area based on like an arcade and things like that, we want to start looking at maybe what we can do to make it look more like an arcade. So let's just take a couple of things. So the first thing I want to try and make is a crane machine. So let's get, what else can I possibly get? Quartz block, quartz brick. So if we do a brick, that there, with that on top. And that, I mean, you kind of get the, I mean, I could possibly just have that. I think that's a kind of safe thing that you can put on. I think maybe if I was to get a wall fence gate in there as well, that's not the right thing. Something like that, and then you've got like a little popcorn stand or something like that. I actually quite like that. It makes it look like it is an arcade cabinet. So that could work. So let's try and make an arcade cabinet now. Like so a set of fences in the, you know, concrete on top, so it's just the top of the thing. What else could we put on? You probably want something on the top, just so, something like that. That with that, and maybe that way. So then it's like something that you can sit on, and then something like that. Yeah, I mean, that something like that is the beginnings of an idea. You know, you kind of got the motorbike with the little screen in front, so you sit on it, and the screen's I mean, this is now getting too big. But the concepts there were, you know, you're on the, and then you play the game and you twist and you turn in with it, and it kind of looks like it. A car definitely would be too big. But if I can get a couple of these in and maybe one thing in similar to that, I think we're on for a winner for this little area. So let me work on that, and then we'll see how the final touches are. Right, so we've progressed some, we've done some decorating. I'm still not 100% on this, but it's the best that I can do so far, because you'll see. All I can think of when I see it is, it's a face. So this is where we're with the main part of the building, like the main block of it. We've got a couple of stalls out of the front, like a little popcorn or something stand, a little stall or something with bits on either side. Not much in the way of decoration on that. But yeah, with this, everything that I did to it just made it look more and more like a face. There was no getting away from it. I thought, oh, let's put some of the glazed terracotta in there. Made it like eyes. You know, we put a couple of blocks there for some like looking like supports. Made it look like a mustache. The best thing that I thought was that glazed terracotta there kind of breaks another line up. Some bits at the side, but all I can think of when I look at this building is a house. It is like a house has a face, and I don't know what to do with it. I may eventually come back to it at some point. But this is only the front part of it. It's very plain on the sides. You can see we've got some leaves down one side. Took out a couple of bits for some texture. You know, a couple of blocks here and there just for some added texture. We've also got some more signs going down the side. And a bit of glow lichen just for a bit of light, but also, again, to break things up. And then inside is where we've got our arcade. So you walk in, and you've got lights everywhere. You've got a few arcade machines in different, like, pretty much the same thing with different options. Then I thought something like this for like a crane machine, so it looks like you're interacting with it. Another weird kind of machine. Another one. And then this for the bike. So I know we did a bit of a test, but then I forgot the stairs exist. So you can have stairs, you know, so you can get on there, in, and then as if you're looking at the screen, and then you can lean back and forward as you're doing things. And then we've got a storage, obviously, for the cactus farm, which has been doing little bits here and there. But again, passive, it's all I need. And no matter which way you go in, either through that side or down these sides, you get onto the actual pier itself. So the other side is exactly like this, just flipped. And it brings you out here, and then you're on the main part of the pier. Now, I've done the same thing on pretty much more sides. So you've got these little kind of like shrub designs. I think I might have to put some something in there to make it fill up a little bit so it's not really floating. Then we've got a couple of these where it's like just a quartz block with a thing. So it's like little vendors or something like that. I don't know if you've seen them. Like, you know, you put a coin in, you get a commemorative like coin out of there. It like stretches it and imprints it and things like that. Then we've got a couple of different stalls. So we've got this one like a kind of burger stall. So we've got like the bread and the meat. I tried to do kind of like a spinning kebab with a heat guard, but then again, you know, you just right at the side of it. There's one good thing about that mangrove stripped look. It does look like meat on a stick, you know, especially when you put a couple of sticks on it. It does give that good effect. Just got like a smoker there, so like the guy could be in there cooking something and getting things. Then you have a drink stall with advertising, you know, like we've got a few different kinds of drinks. Got like, I tried to make it look like, you know, we've got like chalky milk as well, and then just every like cups here and there for a drink stall. This we've already seen before, but we've put on a few banners just to make it look a bit more sideshowy, same as on this one and the next one. So these ones we did before. Did a little bit different on this one now. We'll put some bamboo in each of one of them so it's a bit more like a ring toss, whereas this one, you know, it's like I tried to make like the kind of like the old like leapfrog things where you had like a frog on it, you hit a panel and it launched it in. That's the kind of idea that I had with that one then. And then finally a bit of an extra one, a bit of a fruit and a veg stall. I don't know why you'd have one of them at a pier. I really don't. I don't think I've ever seen a fruit and veg stall. But still, fruit and veg with a bit of a water tank, you know, for like fresh water. And if I'm not throwing that around, with a cup in there as well, just so it's like it's filling out a cup. But just little things here and there, little bits of decoration, little variances on everything just to break it all up. It's not the same. Like this side doesn't have the same layout as this side, just so it makes it look a little bit more natural. Plenty seating for people who was to think to come up and down. And then we've got this part of the build. This is still just a shell of a building. Nothing in here yet. Something we need to figure out what to do with. But that'll be in a different episode. I think this is going to be it for today. You know, we've got a very nice walking boardwalk pier area now. It's coming together really well, but that's going to do it for this one. Thank you very much if you made it to the end. Next time, we're going to start working on a creeper farm and the smeltery area, and I'm probably going to get myself some wings so that we can make some travelling a little bit better. So now I'll see you in that episode. Bye!